It's the boys from Minnesota back at it again. Hot takes from Nels, Tyler, Josh, and Ben. From the first batter up to the safe clinch, you bitch. Get up out your seats, it's swing and a miss.
Welcome to Sorry in Advance, a Philly sports podcast where we talk sports, bust balls, and do whatever else we want to do. Let's get it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sorry in Advance. I am your host, Sean, and today is a very special episode because I am going to be joined by the guys at the Swing and a Miss podcast. And I'm not even going to delay it at all. I'm just going to bring them right on. So I got Tyler, Nels, Josh, and Ben. And it would help if I actually added them this time. There we go. So welcome, guys. Thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So I'm going to jump right into this. Hold on. I was told you had a joke. So I gotta let you do your intro. Sorry.
Boy. I'm really excited to be here and talk some Leo Carlson offer sheets.
Absolutely. That is actually the only thing we're going to talk about. And then I'll never probably have you on again. It's all good.
I mean, that's fair.
The latest rumor, by the way, is I heard that Cutter Gauthier doesn't want $1 less. So we'll see how that works out.
Well, get in line, buddy.
Seriously. But thank you guys for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
So I wanted to kind of my first thing, sorry to say that I wanted to bring up was kind of just to boost our ego a little bit was what did you guys think of the All-Star game? And then what did you think of seeing, I mean, Ben, you've seen probably Citizens Bank Park more than anybody on TV and stuff with us being in the same division. But what did you guys think of the Home Run Derby, the stadium, the All-Star game, the atmosphere, all that kind of stuff? Us booing children because no one's ever heard us do that before. So I love that it's just a topic that will not go away somehow.
I will say, if you're gonna be in the field with the glove, make the play. Come on,
Catch
kid.
the ball.
All right. What are you doing? You don't walk around that. My dad would have. Oh, he'd have read me the riot act if I was out there just flailing around, not even trying, flapping my arms. Get in front of the ball. Come on.
Yeah. I laughed because I just said, I'm just like, if there is any parent that allowed their kid out there, the kid should have known what he was in for. And also, if you're a fan, which I didn't even realize this until yesterday, one of the kids was actually a friend of mine's son. So I might actually try and get them on next week. But like, I'm like, you had to know if you don't make the play, you're going to get booed. Like it was just that easy to understand. There's no mistake that it was going to happen.
Philly boos Santa Claus, so of course they're going to boo children.
We throw snowballs at Santa Claus and boo Santa Claus.
Was it batteries as well? Who did you throw batteries at?
Oh, JD Drew.
JD Drew. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
yeah. Which is so funny. Like if you ever look at that story, yeah, I kind of side with JD Drew after hearing the real story about what happened. But that's a whole other thing.
I'm too kind to boo children. I don't have that East Coast venom in me. I would never boo a child, and
constant rage.
No, I would like to see Schwarber make the finals, but I got to tell you, I did enjoy that Jordan Walker took home the crown because it kind of made all the Phillies fans go home sad, and that was all right by me in the moment.
It was just funny. Well, I was sitting there and I'm just like, damn, like what a final round, like. And I swear, I have the text message still. My friend texts me and he goes, bet on Jordan Walker right now to hit 12. And I'm like, stop it. I'm like, don't put that out there. And then 6 home runs in a row. I'm like, son of a bitch. Holy shit. And I'm I can't even be mad because it was entertaining. Like it was, I enjoyed watching the home run derby.
That was going to be, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah. The amazing thing about that was in Jordan Walker's first round, his facial expression looked like he was in line at a grocery store. He was just absolutely ice cold, unflappable, casual with it, just chomping on his gum, hitting dingers.
He was hitting the most really nonchalant 470-foot bombs I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I really was convinced that if not Kyle Schwarber, a left-handed hitter was going to win that just because of our ballpark. And I'm watching it and I'm like,
we talked about on the last episode, we talked about lefties were going to have an incredible advantage over righties.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
And I think the format played into that a little bit. So you see guys waiting for their pitch and absolutely smoking the ball as opposed to just how many rips can you get in. So a shorter porch somewhere isn't really as much of, hey, can I hit this ball out because I got to swing 30 times? It was more wait for your pitch and hit it out. So they weren't hitting, just out of the park, shots. They're hitting 180-foot bombs.
And it's strategy at that point too, because you're not on a time limit anymore. So it's just like, all right, here's my rest. I don't have to call time anymore. I can rest and see a few pitches. I mean, what did you guys think of the new? Well, not the new format, but going back
to kind of the old format.
Yeah,
I loved it. Not only the format. I think one thing that is a little understated from this year's home run derby is going back to wearing your team's uniform. Yeah. I can't tell you how much I hated the uniforms that the American League and the National League put together over the last handful of years. There was nothing about them that had character. There was nothing about them that said where the team was from. I didn't like it. I think it's silly. Yeah. I loved that aesthetic. Being able to, I mean, that's very reminiscent to when we were all growing up and you saw guys playing in their home jerseys or their away jerseys, depending on who was the home or away team. So I loved it personally.
Have we ever seen anyone out in public wearing an All-Star game jersey? Like I have to think that the thought was, okay, we're going to get these in merchandise sales, but I've never seen one in the wild.
I said it during, it was actually, hey Donna, how are you? I said it during our last episode, and I said it in like 2 or 3 different little TikTok clips I made. I'm like, apparently there is outrage that there is no NL and AL jersey. And I'm like, well, have you seen them the last few years? Like, I need a break because they're terrible. And I'm like, I don't understand. And then I like the American flag and the numbers. I thought that was a really nice touch. I made the joke. I was just like, Toronto probably isn't happy about it, or Canada's probably not happy about it right now. But like, I thought it looked good. I thought it was a nice little touch. Everyone has their own jersey. I'm like, I don't need new. It's for collectors. I'm like, you have to make a buck. I get it. But I'm like, I don't need new NL and AL jerseys all the time. I really don't.
I have a hat. I have last year's Braves. I think it's a batting practice hat from when they did the home run derby, but I think Nels has the same one for the Giants.
Yeah, I got one. It's like the batting practice or whatever, the on-field warm-up hat, and then there's the official All-Star hat. So they're definitely trying to do a money grab for the March.
Which the hats were pretty cool. The jerseys, not so much.
I did like the hats
from this year.
Yeah,
with the green, I guess the green.
Yeah, and the in light letters, the team name underneath the logo. Like I thought it was pretty cool. Subtle enough that it wasn't like overwhelming. It was kind of a cool, different touch that I haven't really seen on a uniform before.
I was trying to see it too with the back. Like I was like, is that the mesh that like you see a lot of different ones? I'm like, is that what they're doing now? I would be all for that.
It looked like it. The jerseys, keeping them as the team jerseys, though, with the hats being kind of those collector items, I think it makes way more sense.
Yeah.
I think they found people are much more willing to spend $45 on a hat that has a little bit of differentiation than $150 on a jersey for like a single year shtick.
Yeah. Especially because like I saw the 4th of July jerseys were $200, and then the 4th of July All-Star jerseys were $225. And I'm like, that is the most expensive patch I've ever seen. You're going to charge an additional $25 for the All-Star patch. I'm like, At that point, I mean, we all know what they're doing, but
I don't know how much money Sorry in Advance makes every week on their shows. We don't make enough as a show to even buy one of them. So
I'm surprised that I'm not losing money doing this. I'm at that point right now. So this is Donna, everybody. Donna is our number one fan.
Hey,
she is literally here. She chimes in from work.
Oh wow!
So she's dedicated. And then there's my mother who taught me every curse word I know.
Is that Ellen or Eileen? I didn't catch it.
Eileen. Sorry.
Very nice to meet you, Eileen.
One thing I would like to see them do with the All-Star jerseys, and this is cribbing off of the World Cup, they should put a star someplace, either on the cap or on the jersey, for every time you've been an All-Star. Like, like, so cool. You would see somebody 1 star, this is their first All-Star game, or you get a Bryce Harper that's got 10 stars on their jersey, and it really would be kind of cool. I think that might be something that people would get into.
Yeah. I feel like people would be very surprised when you see 12 on Mike Trout's and you're like, he's been healthy for that long.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is me and Bennett. We're joking about Mike Trout earlier. So
we talked about Mike Trout for quite a while, but one thing about that, Tyler, is eventually we're going to come to an All-Star that's got a name that is military related in some way, and then they're going to get to their fourth All-Star game, and their nickname forever is going to be like 4-star general, 4-star admiral. And that's
so you're saying when University of Oklahoma quarterback General Booty decided to play baseball instead?
Hey man, that's a
4-star General Booty.
When he gets the 4-star captain right here or something like that, it's coming.
That's a great nickname.
I was going to say 4-star General Booty. If I ever meet him, I'm going to bring that. I want to get him as a guest now immediately. There will be a mess after this.
If you can't buy the jersey, I guarantee you can't afford him.
It's a very good point,
especially in this NIL world.
Yeah, exactly.
The guys that we know from Texas tried to get somebody on. It was like CeeDee Lamb or something like that. They actually got his agent. They were like, yeah, it's $5,000. And they were like, oh yeah, we pay for our subscription to StreamYard. Like, no.
Yeah. We've run into that before as well. And if you have a cost, that's great. God bless you. We're not paying it.
Yeah.
Personally for me, I'm still not the biggest fan of the All-Star game in general. I never really have been. I'll watch it, and I did watch it. It's just not, it doesn't do a whole lot for me. All-Star games never really have. I have always preferred the home run derby to the game itself. I'm sure that I'm in the vast minority, but for me, I like the derby way more than the game personally.
Yeah. To me, and I said this to someone earlier or on Facebook or whatever, is they said how there was like only 5.3 million people who watched the home run derby. And I'm like, it cannot have anything to do with you made people pay to watch the home run derby if you didn't have and I'm like, and that just shows that more people want to see the home run derby than the All-Star game because you made people have to pay a subscription to watch it. And I'm like, if there was, I love the fact that Rob Manfred came out and we have to do something about blackouts. We have to do something about this. But the one day of the year where it should be, because the All-Star game was on Fox, I'm like, where it should be, everybody can watch it. You put the home run derby on Netflix. I'm like, if there's ever a big middle finger to the fan, that was it right there. Like, I thought that was the biggest joke. It infuriated. And I have Netflix. It still infuriated me that I had to watch it.
Can we talk about
with that? Because I feel like Netflix, even if one doesn't have Netflix, you know somebody who has Netflix, and you can make it happen. It's not like the Friday night games on Apple TV, where Apple TV's got 10% of the subscribers as Netflix subscribers or whatever it may be. That Netflix didn't bother me too much, with the exception of the Will Ferrell commentary of the home run derby. Speaking over, it felt like it was real muddled as far as what they wanted to do between Michael Buffer and promoting whatever show that was, which made me want to watch it a lot less.
And you couldn't. The mic was cutting out between him and Luke Wilson, right?
Yeah, Luke Wilson.
Whoever the other guy was. I know, and I'm like, I know you're only here to promote your new show. So you're doing that. Charlie Buffer's trying to do his announcing, and we're like, I can hear them, Will Ferrell trying to talk still. I'm like, this wasn't the best idea to have them both try and just do this at the same time almost. I wasn't crazy about that.
It's not
I get it.
Not a movie show specifically, but you brought up an interesting point I didn't know we were going to get to today, which was I think I'm kind of over Will Ferrell. And I don't know that I would have said that 10, 15, 20 years ago. I think he's had, a piece in Americana and cultural being an icon, but I'm kind of over it.
Step Brothers is kind of the last thing I really found really funny.
Yeah.
Just me.
I'm just kind of over him personally.
I don't know. I'd still watch Kicking and Screaming any day. So.
Well, that was 20 years ago.
I was going to say, yeah, I was like, I think your point is, I think older stuff is still okay. I mean, I still watch him on Saturday Night Live doing Cheerleader and all that kind of like with Sherry O'Terry and all that stuff. Like that's classic SNL. But anything else, I'm just like, just like Hawk to me is just kind of being a ripoff to the Apple show. Now I'm going to forget the name of it, the Stick, which we might be just having a whole other episode after this about TV shows and actors and stuff. So.
The one thing that I did like is, I guess you would say, the set design that Netflix has done, when they've had some events, because, I loved signing the Declaration of Independence.
I thought that was
lineup card. That was super cool.
Yeah.
That was on the All-Star game, though. That wasn't on the Home Run Derby.
Right. All-Star game. The wrestling ring was pretty cool. I think Netflix did opening day with the Giants and the Trolleys, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So all that was pretty cool and interesting to me, but the production beyond that, camera angles, announcers, all of that left quite a bit to be desired.
The angles were pretty bad on some of them. They're cutting away the fans like before swing happened.
The angles were terrible.
I remember Josh mentioning in the group text how there's like every high fly ball, the camera's just looking right at it. You don't really know where it's going, where it's going to land. The camera work needs some help. And it just came out today. The
pop-ups that looked like they were going to go 500 feet.
Yeah.
Instead, it's some kid underneath not knowing where he's at, and the ball lands almost in his face. So,
and like this format too should be so much easier to have good camera angles. Because they're taking their time, one swing at a time, instead of just throw, hit, all right, okay, we can throw again. Like where you're like, all right, as soon as the ball lands, they're already swinging again. Like that I can understand having some difficulty with the camera angles. With this format, there's no excuse.
Well, who was the guy that took out one of the cameras right in front of them during the Derby?
It was Schwarber, wasn't it?
Oh, Schwarber, I think, yeah.
He demolished a camera, and it was hilarious. Because you have cameras set up in that angle looking at the hitter, but you're Netflix, man. You have the ability to have cameras that can zoom in from way further back than 4 feet in front of the batter. And I just thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is I'm like, okay, you have the MLB, who is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And I've joked about this with the replay too, on how like you still can't get replay calls correct sometimes. And I'm like we're all talking about the same thing with like a lot of the camera angles were bad. I'm like, you have so many cameras around that stadium. You have them 5 feet in front of the hitters. Like said, Kyle Schwarber destroyed one. And I'm like, but we can't get good views of all the home runs or, and the kids in the outfield or anything.
You had cell phone angles that were better than some of the Netflix angles.
It feels like it would be really easy just to have a camera that's opposite of the plate from the hitter, down low at their back foot, pointed at the pull side. It's like from that angle, then all of a sudden the camera is essentially in line with the launch angle of the ball. And you would just see the things go from big to tiny, and it would be easy. Or you've got drones now. So, set a drone like up and have it look down at the ball. There's so much stuff that they could be doing that.
First player to take out a drone with a home run ball, that would be all over.
Dude, I want that ball so bad.
Oh yeah. I mean, I love like when like events like this where they have the camera on the catcher's mask. I love seeing that view. And then even the umpires, like when they were showing them last year during the playoff games and stuff like that and replays, I'm like, I love seeing that view because you get to see what, like exactly what Tyler, you just said is you get to see the ball coming in and it just gets smaller and smaller as it's crushed to wherever in the outfield. I'm like, those kind of views are cool. I'm like, I don't need the 3 feet in front of home plate looking up like a lot of times where I'm just like, cool, I can see Schwarber's cup now. Thank you.
So weird that he felt like he needed to wear a cup for the home run derby. Just wants to protect the boys at all costs.
Hey, sometimes he's comfortable with his swing when he's got it on, man. You don't mess with what's working.
I could have bounced back off that camera he hit and just took them right out. Yeah.
And you also, get the right deflection.
Tyler, let's not act like you don't wear a cup every day to work because we all do. What did you guys think of Miles Teller and his speech before the All-Star game?
I liked it. It was good.
I didn't mind it. I liked it too. I like Miles Teller. But I mean, I didn't mind it. I like that people. I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship sometimes where like, cause I'm like, oh, I wish if all these famous people are fans, like to me, I'm just like, oh, if I was an actor, I'd go to games all the time. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to 81 games when I need to be making movies and make millions all the time. But
if you made millions, you wouldn't mind missing a few.
No. But then when I look and I'm like, oh, he's at every goddamn, all-star playoff game, isn't he? He always got time in his schedule for that. But no, I like that they get people from the area and stuff to come back. But his speech I thought was really good. I guess my big question, which I saw, and I'm only bringing this up because I saw it today, someone talk about it. What did you guys think of the fireworks show, the Sandlot tribute with Ray Charles and all that? I loved it.
I'm a big sucker for that stuff. I loved it too.
100%.
That spoke to the 9-year-old in me.
The child, 100%.
Yeah. That brought me immediately back to seeing the Sandlot for the first time.
Yeah.
It was a nice tribute to the Sandlot, I suppose. I wouldn't call it an homage. That's the word I was looking for. I think it was a good homage for it.
Is J.K. Simmons a Philly native?
Is J.K. Simmons?
I think he's a Detroit native, but he went to school at Ohio State, I believe.
Oh. Yeah, he's a big Tigers fan. Right? He's in the booth for the Tigers several times a year.
Which that actually would have made, if anyone's seen Whiplash, that would have made Miles Teller's speech that much more memorable if J.K. Simmons whipped like a cymbal at him.
Seriously, a chair, something. Good Lord.
I'll tell you what, too. J.K. Simmons knows ball. That dude knows what he's talking about. When he gets on the Tigers broadcast, he's breaking it down with the boys. It's great.
I love hearing that kind of stuff, like that they're so into it. I'm drawing a blank. Oh my God, the guy who played Kevin Spacey's right-hand man in House of Cards.
The bald guy?
Yes. Yeah.
He's also in the Jack Ryan series.
Yes, he's in that. He's in Lioness.
We'll call him Phil.
Okay. That's good enough for me.
I don't know his name.
But he was on like the 611 podcast that Ryan Howard and Jimmy Rollins do. And he's a Braves fan. And it was so funny hearing him talk. He's like, I've never hated the Phillies. He goes, when you guys knocked us out a few years ago, he's like, I immediately was a Phillies fan. And I'm like, damn, you're openly admitting that? Like, wow. But I mean, the shit that he knew that he could remember, same thing. It's just, I love when like, they're not, you get athletes who aren't just fair weather fans and they're so into it. Like
J.K. Simmons will get in that booth and start talking to Jason Benetti about the guys in the farm system. It's great.
Michael Kelly is his name, by the way.
Okay. So
he's been in the J.K. Simmons point. He's been in the Braves broadcast booth a number of times, and they actually put him down like in the stands sometimes, which I think is kind of funny because they don't put him like in where like Andrew Jones and Bobby Cox sits. He's down in like section 211, like row 8. And they're like, hey, can we get an interview with you? And people around him are like, hey, am I going to be on TV? And like, well, yeah, because this guy's on like House of Cards and Jack Ryan and all sorts of stuff. So we're going to talk to him though. So please don't yell obscenities.
Right. Okay. So I just want to get your thoughts on the All-Star game. That was for each of you. I mean, I know, we got Braves, Detroit, San Francisco, and Minnesota. What are your guys' thoughts on your team's performances? Are you surprised? I feel like the one thing that we're all probably surprised at is where the White Sox are right now. But your personal input on where your teams are at. Any surprises from the first half? Any disappointments? Are you ready to curse your team off again? Or
Nels is nothing.
Where's the dump button?
Here, Ben, I'll start with you. We'll go clockwise.
Oh boy. Start with all right. I'm going to need the rest of the guys from Swing and a Miss to not roll your eyes when I talk about the Braves. Okay. I know you love to do it when I complain about them because they're in first place still. We get it. It's fine.
Well, I root for a playoff team.
How do you mute him? I had concerns going into the season about starting pitching, and starting pitching has continued to be a concern. Schwellenbach, Strider, Smith-Shawver, all on extended IL stints right now. You may get Strider back. I quite honestly, in the last 3 years, has Strider been what he's been before that? No. So if I get him back in 60 days, is that really the bump I need? I don't think so. We've also had a significant amount of injuries in the hitting. Obviously, Acuna is the big name that everybody knows about, but Yaz is on the IL now. Ha-Seong Kim is back on the IL, though he wasn't really hitting anyway. He's hitting like under 100 for the year.
Michael Harris definitely picked it up.
Michael Harris has picked it up, and Ozzy's been incredible. And you've gotten some timely hitting from guys like Eli White that at the beginning of the season I didn't want on the team. I mean, you still have Sean Murphy on the IL too, so you don't have that consistent second catcher. Drake Baldwin's obviously an all-star, but he's not going to be the guy that you lean on for consistent hitting. He's going to consistently hit, but is he going to be the guy that you lean on going forward? I don't think so. I like the call-ups of Jim Jarvis and Brewer Hicklin, which to me is an all-time white dude name. You can't do Brewer Hicklin. Great name. Brewer Hicklin's only played one game. Jim Jarvis has played 10. Jim Jarvis has played a significantly bigger role so far. He's played really well at shortstop. He had an incredible play right before the All-Star break that I don't think most shortstops make, and I'll attribute that to youth and not really thinking about things. They've hit relatively well. Jim Jarvis is hitting over 300. Brewer Hicklin's hitting 500 in one game. So obviously extrapolate that, and he's a Hall of Famer. So I have concerns about the hitting, especially with Austin Riley. He's hitting just over 200 this year. He's got like 9 home runs. He's hitting for contact and not for power, which is not what I need him to do at third base. I need power. I need more than 9 home runs. I need more than 47 or 49 RBI. It's not a lot. I need power from my corners. And with Austin Riley not hitting well, with Acuna not being in the lineup for 65% of the year so far, now with Yaz out, who am I putting in right field across from Eli White? It's going to be Mauricio Dubon, who's hit well, but he's not a power guy. So I've been pleasantly surprised with the start. I've been really disappointed with the end to the first half. They need a bat, and they need a starting pitcher and probably a long reliever at this point to really be competitive going forward, because your Phillies have been on fire and I don't like it one bit.
who also need a bat, a starting pitcher, and a reliever. So we might be battling for the same three players at the trade deadline.
Maybe we can make
that's a good point.
Between the two teams. We'll go. You give us your three worst. We'll give you our three worst. I'm happy with where they are. I'm disappointed with where they are based on the start, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, my view, and I guess the biggest one, the biggest two, excuse me, is going to be obviously Acuna and Strider. But I feel like it is such a league wide thing where, because you brought up Austin Riley only having 9 home runs. I mean, you look at, Tatis took him 3 months to hit a home run. You look at Vladdy Jr. It is so weird. Cal Raleigh. It is so strange across the whole entire league how these power hitters, 5-6 home runs, it's not what you need. It's not what you're paying them for. And you're just like, what is going on across the whole entire league? Now, when you talk about Strider and Acuna, the fact that Acuna has been so hurt with such serious injuries in the past already, I used to, get annoyed when I saw how they signed Albies to a cheap deal. You signed Acuna to a cheap deal. And I'm just like, well, shit, the Braves might've been onto something here because you're not signing a Mike Trout contract to Acuna, and they've been hurt a lot. So you might be making out a little bit all right here. So I think it's just crazy that they all
until Acuna can play 162 games and then maybe a few more into the next season, I'm not signing him to a long-term deal as much as I love him.
Yeah. I think it's just when it comes to Strider too, I'm just like all the injuries and it just, they just come back and I'm like, he ain't going to be throwing 100, consistently like he was before. And again, it just in today's MLB though, you throw 4 or 5 innings, it gets you paid nowadays. So it doesn't matter anyway. But yeah, I think I picked the Braves to win the division. If I remember correctly, when I was on your guys' show, I can't remember. It was a while ago.
You did. We
but
did
I
not
just
show.
I mean, we all agreed that the Mets are going to Met, and I'm just like, wow, they just started from game 2 and then they haven't slowed down. But again, same thing with the Mets. I mean, Lindor's been hurt, but he's got whatever. I don't even want to talk about him. They're winning right now. So
we don't have to talk about the Mets. Let's never do that.
But yeah, it's I think me and the Phillies and the Braves at the trade deadline is gonna. I mean, we're obviously going to be both buyers, but I have no idea what the hell my team's going to be able to do because we have no farm system. So,
well, and I think the interesting thing about the deadline with the Braves is Anthopoulos has historically been more pro player that's already in the system rather than utilizing picks and prospects as currency. And I think this is going to have to be the year that he changes that mindset and say, all right, we've got 15 top 30 prospects or 15 top 50 prospects. We're going to have to use those as currency if we want to compete this year. And given the hot start and where they were, and where they expect to be by the end of the year, they're going to have to use those as currency. They're going to have to act like the LA Rams of baseball. They're going to have to say, F them picks. I don't care about picks. I don't care about prospects. Let's trade them. Let's get guys this year. If we can get a couple years of team control, great. If we get a half a year rental, we're going all in. We want to win. So it'll be interesting to see.
If they need an example to look at, just look at Andrew Painter. So if you want a prospect to get rid of, Josh, I'll pick you next.
Yeah, kind of the opposite of the Braves a little bit. Started in the dumpster and then got a little healthy and got hot towards the end until we met your Phillies, who gave us a nice 2-game slide at the end as we were closing in on being in real playoff contention. 6.5 games back of the division and 3.5 games back of the wild card, which isn't too far out. And now things get a little muddy. It was going to be easy sell at the deadline, not even think about it, but then rattled off, I think 9 of 10 before the Phillies series. Got right back into a weak American League. Might be the worst offense in the history of baseball to produce 3 All-Stars from that offense. But I mean, 3 really, really solid players in Riley Green, Kevin McGonigal, and Dylan Dingler. Young guys that are going to be our core for a long time. Everything else around that, though.
Can I bring up something really quick about Riley Green that made me fall in love with him today?
Oh, is it the fact that he is the least athletic looking athlete that you've ever seen? Like, he's very athletic, but he looks like he's like running like a 4-year-old child. No.
I was watching a TikTok of All-Star Game Media Row, and they were asking guys how they felt about doing the 999 challenge, and like Paul Skeens and James Wood and a couple other guys were like, that's disgusting. I'd never do that. And then Riley Green was like, yeah, I do it today. I'll do it right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to train. I don't need to do anything. You give me 9 beers, 9 hot dogs. I'll do it in an hour.
I'll tell you, Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson are like best friends. And I swear they're just like 2 bros at a frat house on this team. Like, I'm like, anything that seems stupid and fratty like that, absolutely, I would peg them to be all in on. But yeah, I mean, other than that, though, the offense is not great. They get streaky, won a bunch of games because they got a little hot, but went 6-22 in May. It feels like it's not real, but now the rumors are swirling that they might be looking to add at the deadline. The big thing is Tarik Skubal.
Yeah.
So, when I talk with my Tigers fan friends, I think we're all kind of on the same page at this point. We saw it 2 years ago with the Tigers. We're kind of in the same spot, getting hot, sold, got rid of Jack Flaherty when he was having a stellar year, sub-3 ERA, traded him to the Dodgers, and then went on an absolute heater and made the playoffs. Won the wild card, went to the ALDS, played well and got bounced there. So we've seen like giving up a top of the rotation guy and still competing. And our rotation is incredibly strong still, even if you remove Skubal. Obviously, you think you get into the playoffs and you've got Skubal, Mize, Valdez, Flaherty. Cater Montero has been absolutely phenomenal in every role they put him in this year. And the name to watch out, if you don't watch the Tigers, you may not know much about him, is Troy Melton. He was a rookie last year, just exceeded his rookie limits, started the year on the IL. He's been phenomenal since he came off the IL. Just under 50 innings pitched, a .182 ERA, 5-1, 2.2 WAR, which is right up there with the top of our rotation. So we've got the pitching that if we do make it to the playoffs, we still feel pretty good. As much as I hate to say it, I think that we've got to be looking seriously for suitors for Skubal. Because, boy, if he leaves for nothing, that's the kind of guy that you don't want to be the Angels with Shohei. Hold on to him. Don't make
exactly my thought.
And then next thing you know, you've botched a potential, decades worth of rebuilding from that. Yeah. It's so hard to say. I don't want him to leave. He's saying all the right things that makes it sound like he wants to be in Detroit, but the big bad wolf in Scott Morris as his agent makes me feel like there's no chance we're going to compete for the biggest dollar. So if you can't re-sign him, you've still got a strong enough rotation. You can get some major league ready prospects on a team that has a lot of holes. I mean, let's face it, even when they're hot, they've got 3 or 4 spots on the field that are no good. Their bullpen's a disaster. Kenley Jansen is just the latest of, let's see what 40-year-old we can plug in and see if he's got one more like kick of the can left in him. Yeah. Drew Anderson's been hit and miss, but that was their big like risk that they took because he had 3 great years in Korea because he couldn't make it here, went to Korea, got his changeup back, came back here. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes he gives up 5 bombs. Yeah. I don't see being a buyer. Maybe try to add a few bullpen pieces, mediocre bullpen pieces that are cheap. Make a little bit of a run. Maybe try to get a bat somewhere. But That's going to be the big story is the next week and a half. What do they decide to do with Skubal? And it pains everybody in Detroit to say, but it may just be in the best interest of the franchise to see what you can get back from him. And you know what? The nice thing is getting back into the race has been great for negotiation purposes because we can play you don't want to give us what we think he's worth? Fine, we'll keep him. We're going to try to make a run. They can play that card as a negotiating tactic. And absolutely, if, everybody's stingy and you don't get anything worthwhile, then stick with him and go. But if somebody comes at you with a king's ransom, you can't say no now.
You can't say no, yeah.
You've got a bunch of young guys who seem to have a really good core foundation. Troy Melton is looking like he can be the next ace of staff. You'd hate to see that all go to waste and lose him for a comp draft pick when he declines the qualifying offer. We're already getting a comp pick by the almost certainty of Kevin McGonigal winning Rookie of the Year. So what do we need a second comp pick for at that point? Like, get us a real farm system back.
So you expect when the Twins trade away 40% of their roster again this year, that it will go to the Tigers for Skubal, yes?
I don't want anything that they're selling, so.
Oh, they've got pieces.
I mean, do you? So, gun to your head, is Skubal gone? I won't hold it to you. I won't hold you hostage to it, but
yes, I mean it seems
for the trade package you could probably get for him. Yeah,
and Chris Ilitch has been known to not be a big spender ever since his dad died and left the team to him. And Scott Harris is big on finding value contracts and dumpster diving whenever possible. I don't see them thinking that they'll put together a package that Skubal would stay for. And so if you're not going to be seriously going to re-sign him, you got to restock and reload. That's how the game runs these days.
What do you think? I mean, he's making $32 million this year. Like, what do you think it would take to keep him? I mean, are we at probably $50 million a year?
Well, it depends. It's
Scott Boras as your agent, probably.
Well, it's Scott Boras. So there's a couple different routes, of course, how everything is. Does he want the highest AAV or does he want the longest guaranteed money? Will he take 41 over the course of 7 seasons, or will he take 50 over the course of 4?
Right.
Which one makes you more competitive? And honestly, if he would do 50 over 4, you gotta think, all right, fine, 4 years, 200. We can do that. We're not a small market team. We've loved to operate that way recently, but I mean, back when we had your boy Dave Dombrowski over here and Mike Ilitch at the helm, we were top 5 in the league in payroll every year when we were winning the division, when we were making our runs to the World Series. We can spend. Yeah. You go, hey, we can't take on the financial risk of 7-8 years on a 29-year-old, with a history of some injuries recently, but we can do 4 at 50 a year. If that comes in, I'd say do it. But at 7-8 years at 41, I just don't think that we'd be able to compete on that like the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Phillies could.
I feel like, especially with everybody you just said, with Riley Green, with McGonigal coming up, with you have Troy Melton, starting to show what he can be and all that. It's like, okay, say you do sign him to 50 at 4. If that's your window, I mean, that's a really good team right there.
No kidding. And his deal would expire. He'd still be 33, get a chance to go do it again. And that would be right when we'd have to pay those other guys again.
Right. So it's perfect time for him to come to the Phillies. Phillies overpay. He gets an arm injury, never plays again. It's Freddie Garcia.
Perfect. Yeah. But
you guys think it's too late for me to work on my slurve?
Yeah, just a little bit.
A little bit too late. I would love to make $50 million a year.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. If he signed for 4, even 5 years at 50 a year, I don't think anybody in Detroit would shed a single tear at that. They'd be absolutely, let's go, buckle up, let's make a run now. But
Braves take him.
You gotta, if you're Scott Harris, you gotta know like at this point, you got to know if you got a real chance or not. And if you don't have a real chance, then you got to hit the trigger. You got to know with a week and a half to go, do you have a real shot?
This is the first time I've ever interacted with your mom, Sean. She's my new favorite person.
She's the best, isn't she? She has no problem bashing our own team.
With Nola. Why not another?
Hey, yeah. Well, you know why, Eileen? Because it's not our money. Why not spend it all? I've never understood, especially in a sport with no salary cap. For now, that's a discussion for another day with CBA coming up. Why anybody gets all up in arms about what their team is paying a guy? It ain't our money. If the owner is going to spend the money, let the owner spend the money.
Yeah.
Who cares? Salary cap, I get it because it prevents you from being able to do other things and it weighs you down. In a non-salary cap sport, the owner wants to spend $50 million a year on a guy, so be it.
Take the luxury tax doesn't come out of my paycheck.
Yeah,
so
I was going to say, you're paying the luxury tax, not me.
Right.
So, yeah, I never understood the fans that get all up in arms about, what their team pays a guy when there's no salary cap. Spend away. Anyway, that's probably enough from me. We can move on.
It's all good. Nels, I don't know. Do you want to go? Do you want to?
He's been.
I was letting Josh go
for the past 2 months.
I was letting Josh take the runway as long as he wanted it, because I knew this was coming. Look, I could scream and rant. I can curse now if I wanted to about the Giants season. This is probably the worst Giants season of my life.
Damn, you're only 80.
From all aspects, from on field, off field, the roster, everything, probably the worst. But
you're not young.
No. I'm 44. It happens. They lost 100 games once in their entire history, and it was in 1985. So that's happened in my lifetime. Next year, Will Clark came up, and then year after that, they're in the NLCS. And 2 years after that, they're in the World Series. So I'm kind of trying to see if that's the pattern they can go with of, we hit the rock bottom, maybe we can bounce back. They have Bryce Eldridge up there, top prospects. They finally figured out, hey, let's give him at bats. He's good, and he's been very good. So maybe he's that next kind of Will Clark guy. I mean, looks like he might have a little bit of that in him. But right now with the trade deadline, we're looking to offload some pieces. Robbie Ray probably is not long for this world in the Giants uniform because he's a free agent next year. Luis Arraez, who's been a revelation at second base. I decried that signing and thought it would be a disaster because his defensive metrics has just been awful his entire career, especially at second. That's a Ron Washington project who is on the Giant staff right now. He has just worked wonders. So that's also upped his trade value as well. Not only are you getting a top 3 hitter in the game as far as average goes, you're getting one of the best defensive second basemen as well. So
not to interrupt, Luis Arraez is the most puzzling case I have ever seen in baseball in the last 5, 6, 7 years. The fact that it is a well above 300 hitter like him is on 4 different teams in 4-5 years is just staggering to me. That somebody like him.
He was on the All-Star team. And it was his 4th different team.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
It turns out hitting 330 is great when you're Ichiro and you can move. But when you get on base and then you have to get out your walker and your cane to get to each base after that, being on base isn't as big of an advantage as some other guys.
Hey,
it's unbelievable.
That's where the glove comes in because
three of the
really ups his value. Yeah. But he's not going to be long for this world either in the Giants uniform. So right there's 2, you have a mid-rotation lefty, former Cy Young winner, and all-star Gold Glove caliber now second baseman you can get a pretty decent return and stock up an already pretty good farm system. And the Giants just, stocked it up even more with their number 4 pick, Jackson Flora, who was the top pitcher in the draft this past year. So I'm trying to see the light at the end of the tunnel of this thing. But the reason their season went bad, it's not injuries. Logan Webb missed some time, but he was bad before that because of the injury. So Chapman's out, but they have Casey Schmidt, who's been another guy who's really stepped up this year, and I'm excited about. He's filled those shoes, so I can't blame injuries. Too. Yeah, in fact, a little miffed he wasn't an all-star because he can play all over the infield. They stuck him in left field because they had to keep his bat in the lineup. He did fine there. So he's a really, really valuable utility guy. I'm excited to see him flourish, but you can't blame injuries. It was poor performance, really, really bad to start the year. It's gotten a little better, especially on the offensive side, but the pitching has just been rough on the back end of the rotation. Adrian Hauser, Tyler Mahle were not the answers in free agency to sign. In fact, Hauser's in the bullpen, I believe now, and now he's hurt. So at least they have some young arms they can look at coming up. And then the bullpen has just been right up there with the Tigers and the Nationals is the worst in the game. It's to the point where it's like they have a 3-run lead in the 7th. That's a 50-50 shot they win that game at best.
That's been our whole season too, buddy.
I said the same thing about ours.
Yeah,
thank God I have Duran, but I got to get to him, and it's a struggle.
The Tigers have a 5-game lead of blown leads in the 8th inning or later this season on the entire major leagues. So I get it.
And that's, a lot of people blame Buster Posey for that. They're president of baseball operations. Part of that falls on him. A lot of people are trying to blame Tony Vitello, first-year manager right out of college. Some of it's on him. I like to always blame ownership and not spending money because I'm sure the edict comes down to Posey. This is how much we have to spend. So that's why you're going dumpster diving for your Hausers and Mahle's of the world instead of trying to get somebody decent. So there's blame to go everywhere. Hopefully it's more of a learning curve and a learning experience than this is how it's going to be. In 2 weeks, once the trade deadline is done, it can just be let's develop guys, and I can look forward to the 49ers.
Do you believe that Jung-Hoo Lee will be on your team?
I would say yes. I believe he has 2 more years of control, and then he's I think it's a player option after that or something like that.
Yeah, like $27 million a year, I think, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard his name pop up. I've heard Logan Webb's name pop up. Obviously, it would take a lot more because of that control on both of those guys to pry them away. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm trying to be optimistic, and I think the turnaround can happen quicker than it looks like right now. It's tough in the division they're in because that's the Dodgers until it's not. So you're looking at a wild card, and you're a lot more wide open with that. But also you can get in with, 85, 86 wins. You don't have to worry about trying to reel off 98, 99. So yeah, I'd say yes, he'll still be on the team. I don't think anybody's going to pay the price that they need to pry him away.
We were talking about it. Honestly, I brought his name up, Jung-Hoo Lee's name up, probably the last 3 weeks, as if I keep hearing, the Phillies need an outfielder, and I'm just like, I know somebody in San Francisco who I would like to go get, and then it's just, you need a right-handed bat, and my thought process was, I'm just like, why do I have to have a right-handed bat? And I'm looking at Jung-Hoo Lee's numbers, and I said he is a over 300 hitter. He's hitting 300 against lefties and righties. He can get on base. His defense isn't stellar, but I'm just like, we had to tolerate Nick Castellanos for 4 years. I will survive with Jung-Hoo Lee. Yes. So I'm just like, and it's just now you need a right-handed power bat. And I'm like, I don't need another power bat who will strike out 200 times a year. Cool. It's all well and good if you give me 50 home runs, but I look at Kyle Schwarber, and don't get me wrong, I love Kyle Schwarber, but I'm like, there are so many solo home runs, and I'm like, that's that's great when I lose 6-1. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
I want somebody who will get on base.
That's the kind of guy you absolutely would want on your team, but you won't want multiple of them on your team.
No, but I need one right now because I don't have it. Because I have Trey Turner being overpaid and then making errors in the field. And I'm like, when we signed Trey Turner, my immediate thought was, cool, there's 30, 40 stolen bases. And then I wasn't expecting 25 home runs his first year like he got. And then he finally hit over 300 last year. Now he's back in the shitter. And I'm like, I just, like, if it happened, I'm immediately putting Jung-Hoo Lee in the top 1 or 2. And Turner is going probably 5th or 6th for me because I'm over. It's at the same time, I hate my hitting coach because I firmly believe that they're just like, we don't care if we strike out. And I'm like, well, that's a hell of a philosophy. We showed that during the All-Star game when our guys combined 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. But I'm like, I want people who will get on base, who will make contact. And that is not something that is on this team right now, unless it's a home run. Like, this team seems to not win unless they hit home runs.
But you need a guy like Castellanos on your team just in case like a world event breaks out while he's hitting.
I mean, I need somebody like the 93 team, like he was trying to bring back, who will drink on the bench. So, I'm all for having a beer on the bench. Like, slow pitch softball is the thing, man. Like, let's go. I'll bring them on our team.
None of us have ever had a beer on the bench during softball. Not even once.
No one. Ironically enough, Trey Turner had a home run today, and it was our one run when we lost 4-1. So there's that.
Could I interest you in a Trevor Larnach or an Austin Martin with 360 plus on base?
Who did you say? I'm sorry.
Trevor Larnach or Austin Martin from the Twins.
From the Twins?
Yeah.
I think the Phillies are eventually just going to take what the Twins have. I mean, we already took Duran. We took Bader last year. I'm waiting for the Twins to just somehow have a better record than the Phillies with the way that the MLB is going right now. Sure. Depending on the trade package, of course. Sure.
So ahead, Tyler. The Twins are great at taking Tigers rejects and making them usable. Willie Castro a few years ago, Cody Clemens, Ryan Kreidler, all of a sudden has figured out that he can hit.
Maybe that says more about
he was the most unwatchable player I have seen in many years in Detroit. And now all of a sudden he's figured out how to hit. He was like a $110 hitter in Detroit.
I get so upset when it's anybody except for Ryan Kreidler playing shortstop right now. They keep on rolling out Tristan Gray at shortstop, and it angers me to no end.
Good for you. That's how I felt whenever I saw Ryan Kreidler on the field for the Tigers. So glad he's sticking for you.
I'll start talking about the Twins then. I felt like I led into it. It's been a heck of a ride because the Twins are pretty much in the same situation that they were this time last year. But the difference is their playoff odds are about 40% versus 10% last year. So
last wild card spot right now?
I think we're tied with Texas.
Okay.
So what a difference having just a crappy AL makes. But also the team is just bopping. The frustrating part about it is that I really wanted by this point of the season to understand who was in and who was out as far as the players that we could rely upon as the next core. And I don't think we're there. We have Josh Bell that's going great. Buxton's doing Buxton things. We knew that he was going to be a part of it. Trevor Larnach has been a great leadoff hitter. It's been amazing to watch him thrive in a leadoff spot. And it's a surprise to me because he's usually been a low average, high strikeout guy. And in leadoff, he's been drawing more walks and hitting for more contact. It's been impressive to watch. But he's also 29 years old, so it's not like he's a part of it either. Wallner got sent down because of poor performance. Lewis got sent down because of poor performance and came back up, and he's been on fire. So I don't feel like I know what the the next generation of Twins solid core players is going to be yet. And that's where I wanted to be at this point in the season. That being said, if they just added some bullpen pieces, they would have added another 4 or 5 wins. I mean, that's no surprise after shipping off 7 bullpen pieces at last trade deadline and not really backfilling it with anything of consequence. But the fact that they're hitting as much as they are, the starting pitching has been good. Taj Bradley is awesome. And I'm amazed that we were able to get him for Griffin Jax, because Griffin Jax is a good player, but I don't know why I never trusted him 100% compared to Duran. Like Duran, so jealous that you guys have him, because that guy's just lights out. It feels like no one can ever square him up, exactly right. I'm looking forward to the Twins. Hopefully, I feel like they need to do a bit of what the Rays do, which is sell off some pieces and bring back some pieces. And I really want to see them call up some of the guys from AAA. I'd really like to see Emmy Rodriguez come up. I'd like to see Walker Jenkins come up. It would be awesome. If that means shipping off Ryan Jeffers, my heart's ready for that. I love Jeffers. He's an awesome catcher, but I understand that they might not be able to say no to any type of a deal. Or they're carrying 3 catchers right now. Austin Jackson has been super solid in a backup catcher role. So they might send him off, and we might be going forward with Carantini and Jeffers, which are the 2 better catchers on the lineup. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm excited about right now. And I'm just bemoaning the fact that they did nothing to address the bullpen in the offseason. Because if they had, this team would actually be significant and a bit more dangerous.
I was going to say too, I know you mentioned Taj Bradley. I remember watching him last year when he was with the Rays still. And he looked like he was really going to just stay a part of their rotation or just stay a part of their future. But the Rays, will trade anybody and then all of a sudden still be in first place like they are right now, which the Rays just don't make sense. But I also wasn't expecting Cody Clemens to be, second on your team in home runs. And it was a friggin' bench player here. And I'm just like, I'm not even going to lie. I was kind of upset when we traded Cody Clemens, because I was like, what a nice bench piece and this and that. And I'm like, oh shit, he'd probably be a really good starter on my team right now. Like, this kind of sucks. But I mean, it's cool to see. I mean, and again, I laughed when I actually looked up the standings, and I'm just like, son of a bitch. Like, there's only 2 teams above 500 in the whole entire American League right now. Like, it is crazy how the American League is shaping up, but with so much more to play, it's fun seeing. Like, it's cool to see the Twins coming back, because I mean, when they depleted so much last year with the trades that they made, and you still have Buxton, like you said. I mean, I always like that he kind of is saying, oh, like, I'm a Twin, I'm not going anywhere. Like, it's kind of, I guess, Mike Trout territory, where I'm just like, are you going to accept a trade anywhere, or are you going to stay?
He's from Atlanta.
He's not from Atlanta.
No, he made that Georgia. Crystal clear.
Bring him home.
He's from like 3 hours outside of Atlanta.
He made it crystal clear that Atlanta is not home.
He's from Gwinnett County, which is like 11 minutes outside of Atlanta.
Buxton will be a Twin for life. That's my belief. It's possible that he gets pried away from the Twins if the Twins don't go for it this season, or continue to sort of scuffle along at a place where they're living in a non-competitive environment. At that point, his loyalty is like the loyalty of an abused spouse. There's no reason for him to be loyal when the team just isn't trying to capitalize on, the backside of his prime. I'm just surprised that no one has come out and said, if we trade for Buxton, we're signing him to, a $30 million a year, 10-year contract, and doing something like that, because that might be the thing that pries him away for the Twins. He's woefully underpaid right now. His base salary is $15 million. He's got to, finish top 10 in the MVP and meet certain plate appearances in order to get him to like the $20 million range. But he's
woefully underpaid. Does he have a full no trade clause too?
He's got a full no trade clause. Plus, he's got 10 and 5 rights.
I was going to ask if he has been around long enough for 10 and 5.
Yeah.
It's just not. I'm not even trying to be a dick about it. Just not games played. That's all.
Right. No. That's why I feel like he hasn't been around for 10 years because he's only played about 3.5 years worth of games.
Right.
Yeah, but he got a knee surgery.
Braves would pay $30 million a year for a left fielder. I'm just putting that out there.
Well, he plays center. So Michael Harris, get your ass.
Not on that team. He wouldn't. He'd play left.
I'm pretty sure he's a better center fielder than Michael Harris.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's good. He's still good.
Well, they're both great.
Well, I look forward to seeing you guys next month at the Field of Dreams game. I laughed because, and I'm not like I always think of like the NHL Stadium Series and stuff like that. Like you try and get a rivalry. So then when I saw, I was like, oh, Phillies Twins, and I'm like, were the Phillies and Twins ever like rivals, or are we just throwing two teams like throwing darts on the board? Because
the Phillies wouldn't have, even when they were the Senators, the Phillies and the Twins the Senators were in different leagues, so there wouldn't have been anything unless the Phillies played the Twins or the Senators in like the 1929 World Series, and we have to go way back to that.
Maybe when we were the A's, but not the A's, or
it's all Dombrowski going back to his Detroit roots. Man, I hate those AL Central teams.
Maybe it's just like because people have been asking for an outfielder here for so long, and Buxton keeps coming up. They're just like, here's the closest you're actually going to get to ever seeing Buxton play. So
you kind of stepped all over my joke. I thought you were going to say we've been waiting for an outfielder so long we were hoping he'd walk out of the corn.
No, that'll be Mike Trout at 38. We'll sign him to a $50 million, or $50 million
a year for 10 years at 39 years old.
39 years old, and he retires day one. So second half upcoming. What do you guys? I mean, we kind of went through trade deadline a little bit and all, but I mean, what do you think? How do you guys think that you're going to pan out? I know we kind of dove a little bit into it, but I guess little final thoughts on the second half of the season coming up. Josh, you're at the top, so I'll start with you. So sorry.
I'll probably have a better answer for that in about a week and a half when I see what our deadline looks like. American League is weak.
For a week and a half, we'll come back and
Well, it's one of those things where the American League is weak, and the Tigers, if you come out and you win 5 of 6 coming out of the All-Star break, all of a sudden you're right there on the wild card. You decide to buy. The rotation's good enough that you can make a serious threat in this weak American League. On the flip side, you lose 4 of 6 coming out of the break, tear it down and start rebuilding it. So I hate to use the cop-out of we'll see, but it really does feel like the next 6 games, the next 2 series will kind of dictate the direction they go, which, then determines how I'll feel about the rest of the season. I feel like if they come out hot for these 2 series and they decide to make some trades and, be buyers, you could see us in the playoffs, and that's a tough rotation to get at in the playoffs. So we could, I'm not saying that it's the World Series aspirations we had coming into the year, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a Detroit run in the postseason if they decide that they're going for it. And if they come out slow and they decide to sell, may end up with the second worst record in the American League.
Josh, I was just looking at the schedule. Angels, Cubs, Royals, Orioles, Athletics.
Yeah, it's a very winnable schedule coming up.
Right. Yeah, if you guys don't fall on your face, it's going to be looking pretty good for you at the trade
Exactly.
deadline.
So, but then they've got to decide to go for it. What they cannot do is what they've done for the last decade at this point, and just don't do anything. A couple small relievers. Either go for it or don't. Either sell Skubal and tear it down a little bit, or go buy some pieces and say, hey, this is our last year with Skubal. We're going for this thing. The AL is weak. We can win it.
I gotta say, we have to start doing a video podcast because the live comments are sending me. They're so funny.
Well, did you see Mike Trout? I made a TikTok where I was like screaming in my car ride to work where it was an interview with Trout.
Seen every one of them.
Thank you. Where they interviewed Trout about what, a cheesesteak. And I'm just like,
that was the same Media Row interview where Riley Green talked about the 999 because he said no peppers, no onions, right? Yeah.
It's literally, it's very simple. It's, I want a cheesesteak with or without. You want a cheese with onions or without onions? You can add all the other shit. But when they interviewed Mike Trout and he goes, what kind of cheesesteak do you get? He's like, just a regular. And I'm just like, nobody from this area, Jersey, Philly, anything says regular. I'm like, you are officially all California. Don't come back here. Like, don't even come to Eagles games anymore.
Do we not know that he's a vegan now that he lives in California? I think if you say regular, you might be.
I'm surprised he didn't say like hold the bread, something like that. Just give me a fork.
To be fair,
I want a cheesesteak wrap.
I live with a celiac survivor, and so she would do no bread as well.
I just got diagnosed. I'm not even lying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and my wife just brought home sourdough bread, and we already had like 3 slices, so I don't give a shit. Just medicate me. It's fine.
John, we have so many recommendations to send you for literally every aspect of your life.
Yeah, my mom and my sister both have it too. My mom quite severely, so we've lived the gluten-free life for a long time.
This is really the podcast. Weird. This is the podcast you needed to befriend.
Yeah,
really.
You know what? This is the most viewers I've ever had. This is the greatest episode ever. I've learned so much about myself already.
All it took was celiac.
I should have started that. Anybody here have celiac disease? What can we talk about? I'm so sorry for your loss, Sean. Philly that
would be my wife.
It's all good. I can take it. Great. Someone got caught at the game using a fork eating a cheesesteak. See, this is the kind of shit where I'm just like, get out.
Hold on.
Can I clean out the droppings of my cheesecake with a fork?
There you go.
Is that allowed?
Oh, yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
That was my first question to
Tyler. And then there's my mom with the dynamite drop in, the podcast from hell. Nels, I know we kind of talked about it a little bit, but second half, I mean, let me ask you real quick. I know you kind of talked about it because I meant to ask you earlier. I mean, are you happy with the Tony Vitelli signing with Posey currently? Because I remember bringing it up on before, and I had a lot of people who were San Francisco Giants fans who were just like, they're not happy with what Buster Posey's doing. He's just kind of putting them in a corner. He's bad moves, bad contracts, and.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't say I'm happy with the results. Obviously, it hasn't panned out so far. Like I said, there's plenty of blame to go around, so it's hard to say that it's all one person's fault. And they'll give Vitello another year at least. They're not going to make him a fall guy or anything, I don't think, this year. And Posey still has plenty of cachet with the team. He's almost certainly getting elected to the Hall of Fame next year. So, there's going to be a lot of goodwill with that. So time will tell. We'll see.
Ask you again next year.
Yeah. It just might be one of those seasons too, where just everything that can go wrong went wrong. So
yeah.
As long as I just want to see the kids play the rest of the season. I don't care about the record anymore, winning, losing. They have young arms in there. They have Roop. They have Wisenhunt, Trevor McDonald. Get those guys as many starts as they can under their belt so they can come in next year and have a solid rotation. They're getting Randy Rodriguez back. He was their all-star reliever last year, blew out his elbow at the end of the year, so he's been gone all year. So it's one of the reasons why the bullpen's been trash. So they'll get him back. He's just aces. Other than that, let the kids play and see what you can get for the pieces at the deadline.
Can I ask you one more question? And it's from a few years ago. What did you think of Gabe Kapler?
I liked him, and I think he was unfairly kind of kicked out.
He was a fall guy?
Yeah. I mean, they had that year in 2021 where everything went right, the exact opposite of this year. And they, obviously overperformed. They won 107 games. You're going to when you do that. But, at best, we're probably high 80s talent-wise, and just everything in the margins went right. Everything went right. Yeah. So I think people were expecting more of that, and it just didn't happen. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I'm like, hold on to Vitello, give him a shot, because I feel like Kapler didn't really get that fair shake, and he was the fall guy when things fell off after 2021.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you move on from Gabe Kapler, you're guaranteed to have a less jacked coach than him. That dude's got arms the size of
after that. So, yeah.
Unless we bring in Rob Brindamore.
Oh, God. If you ever get a moment, look up some of the interviews Gabe Kapler did on 94 WIP here. Oh, my God. I mean, it was a war. It was a war between radio, the morning host and him. It was must hear radio, because Kapler just had enough, and our radio host at the time was just an asshole. So, but he was known for it. But it was very funny to hear.
It's Philly, right?
Yeah. Tyler,
I hope that the Twins continue on with their winning ways. They've only lost one series out of the past 9, I believe, and that was getting swept by the Dodgers. So that being said,
doesn't even count.
That doesn't count. I would like to see the young kids come up. I would like to see Walker Jenkins. I'd like to see Kalen Culpepper. I'd like to see Emmanuel Rodriguez. I wouldn't be too disappointed if they traded away some of their older players, brought in some rental relievers, and maybe a starting pitcher. They're a little thin at starting pitcher, like everyone is. Everyone can always use another number 4, number 5 starting pitcher just to get through the season. So maybe a Brady Singer type or similar. Just to eat some innings, get through. And if the offense continues to do what it's been doing, I like the chances of them getting into a wild card spot and not necessarily doing much with that. But, once you get in, I trust Joe Ryan. I trust Taj Bradley now. And that's good enough starting pitching to get you to someplace. Where it goes from there, who knows? But I think that the Twins are going to sell a bit, buy a bit, and still be able to make the playoffs with the way that they've been going recently.
And you have, is it Gomez? Who's your closer?
We don't really have a closer. Okay. Remember, we sold all of our bullpen at last year's trade deadline.
Yeah, I just remember looking. I was like, I remember watching the video, and they were like, this guy. I thought it was Gomez who's really kind of picked it up for closer status.
Right. And that's a guy that we picked up off of the waiver wire from Tampa Bay. So he wasn't working out there. He was in a, middle relief role for them. And so we've just been slowly beefing up that middle relief element of the bullpen, because really any warm body at this point, any professional pitcher is a step above where we've been at. So getting on some of these pieces and getting them in a little bit earlier than the trade deadline has afforded us the ability to put some wins on the board that we wouldn't otherwise have had. And yeah, Gomez has actually been pretty lights out. So if they're able to add in another 2 professional pitchers in the bullpen, that's going to be a big deal for us, because I think that I think we scored like the second or third most runs in all of baseball so far. It's just been us giving up runs that's really been killing us.
Yeah, you guys, I'm looking at it now, you are first in the American League.
Okay, just the American League. Right.
Yeah. but I think you're like fourth or fifth in baseball. So
yeah, we're behind the Pirates, the Nationals, the Dodgers, the Brewers, and the Cubs.
The who? Who is leading the major leagues in runs scored?
Well, runs per game, it's the Pirates.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
They're tied with the Nationals.
Place Pirates.
Good Lord.
To be fair, I did see like last week they had a couple games in the double digits, so that helps skew numbers a bit.
Yeah.
Still, Paul Skeens can't be complaining too much about run support when he's got the number one.
I can't when they don't get them for him.
Actually,
nothing's more frustrating than watching your team put up 9 a game and then you pitch and they put up 1.
I had a thought on Paul Skeens and Livy Dunn, but I'll leave it alone.
Oh, why?
Well, did anyone see the video of Livy Dunn doing the beer pour at the All-Star game where it's like 90% foam? And it's a Miller Lite ad, and she's just like, here's the beer that I poured it. And everyone in the bar is like, yay, Livy Dunn. Stop that. Stop. You poured a terrible beer. Go back and pour it again. We'll reshoot this. And she's just like, here it is.
I just found out today that Paul Skeens has his own hot dog roller at home.
Yeah, and he go back and watch the video of him saying he would never eat 9 hot dogs ever in his life, not just in a baseball game.
He just loves to entertain people with roller dogs.
I just saw the video today where he said that while they were it was a 4-game series here, he had three cheesesteaks because they were like, oh, the best cheesesteaks are in the away clubhouse. So he's like, yeah, I had 3 in the 4-game series. I'm like, oh shit, all right, I'll go hang out in the away dugout. Like, that's fine. Damn.
Cheesesteaks, apparently.
Boy, he needs the cheesesteaks.
Has no interest.
All right, Ben, what do you got for second half? Stay ahead of us.
Very similar to Josh. It's kind of a wait and see situation. Now, there are things that I want them to do. I want them to be aggressive with a starting pitcher. If it's not Skubal, if the Tigers decide they're going to retain him, or if the Braves refuse to pay what he's asking for, or what he's being paid right now, I don't know. Because the arbitration deal is what, 2 years?
No,
or is it 1 year? 1 year. So if his arbitration is agreed upon, but he won't sign a long-term deal, and Anthopoulos says, I'm not doing that, I understand that. I'm not gonna crap on Anthopoulos for that. There are also other options. I think Sonny Gray is a good option to go after. I know we talked about this on our last episode that the Red Sox may be buyers after winning 9 straight going in the All-Star break. I don't know. I personally would not be if I were the Red Sox, but whatever. But outside of that, we have Michael Wacha. I think Michael Wacha is a good piece. He's not a great piece. My wild card pick, and we talked about this a few episodes ago when we did our GM kind of play acting. I think Luis Castillo is a good play for the Braves to go after for the Mariners because they don't have a place for him.
Mm-hmm.
It provides a lot of cap relief for the Mariners. Mariners can go out and add some offensive pieces, which they need, but the Braves need pitching. I would love to see them add a left fielding bat. I don't think that is necessarily going to be high on the priority list. As much as I'd like to see it, I don't think it's going to happen. Just with people getting healthy. With Acuna coming back, you can park Eli White out there, and Eli White's fine. He's nothing spectacular. Then when Yaz gets back, Yaz can be your everyday left fielder. If Yaz comes back, I don't know. There are so many questions with this Braves offense right now that I don't really have a good answer. I know that people have floated around the idea of Austin Riley because he is a productive third baseman defensively right now and historically offensively. I'd rather get rid of prospects than Austin Riley because Austin Riley's a proven commodity. I'm okay with getting rid of 2 to 4 top 10 prospects for a solid left field bat. Will that happen? I don't know. I'm not confident in this. I'm not confident that Anthopoulos will be aggressive enough to make the necessary moves in order to not only just not lose the division, but make a deep playoff run, because I think there will be some moves that are made and they will be mostly cash considerations or prospects or middle relievers, and they'll be like, let's see, we made 46 moves. It's great. And it's like, yeah, you traded away nobody for nobody, and nothing gets better.
That was a really good Bill Clinton impression. That's exactly what that sounded like.
I thought it sounded more like W. I don't trust Anthopoulos this year right now. Now, he could surprise me. I have no idea. And they could make some really big splashes if they land Sonny Gray, Michael Wacha. Skubal's, I think, a long shot at this point, just given the recent Tiger success. I think Josh is right. I don't think they're moving him. Josh said they were moving him. I think they're not. I want to say they're going to be aggressive. History has said they're not going to be, so I'm going to go meh.
I mean, you see, like you and I had talked before about like players to be traded or whatever for outfielders, especially like because the Phillies have been mentioned with Joe Adell. I mean, could you see someone like him or like Lane Thomas? I keep seeing Mickey Moniak, and I'm just like, that dude is walking proof of Coors Field. Like, can we not?
I think those guys kind of fall into that meh category where you have the aggressive tag placed on you and you trade for names that people have heard, like a Michael Moniak, and people are like, oh, I know that name. And so people assume this is a good trade, and it's not. It's a product of his environment, just like you said with Coors Field. I would like to think that they go after guys that actually are going to make an impact. I really don't care about name recognition. Like, I don't expect you to go after Manny Machado or Austin Riley. Yeah. That would be stupid. I don't expect you to go after, Randy Arozarena or left fielder for the Braves. I don't expect that. I expect you to go after production and value. And with a team in a market like Atlanta, there's no reason you can't spend the money to bring in a Tarik Skubal, a Michael Wacha, a Sonny Gray, even if they're rentals. I know that I still think Byron Buxton is a Brave before the end of his career. I don't know that it's this year. And I'm not saying it's going to be this year, so don't quote me on that. I think Byron Buxton becomes a Brave before the end of his career. Why not go make a play for him this year?
Yeah. All right. I like it. So I'll ask one more question. Who's winning the World Series this year?
Dodgers.
They three-peat?
Well, are we going
until it isn't
of the season? Or are we going based on what we've seen in the first half?
Is the answer still the Dodgers?
Right now, if I had to bet, I would say the Rays. I feel like it's one of those things where, yes, the Dodgers are excellent, but I could very easily see the Phillies or Braves knocking them off on the road to the World Series, where the Rays seem to have the easier path right now, especially with Judge's injury. Has anyone heard if they've revealed imaging? They said that they were going to do it over the All-Star break.
I saw something said it was going to be another few weeks.
Yeah, I heard 1 to 2 weeks from the All-Star break.
Okay, well, so before he gets re-imaged. So, I mean, I think we're looking at Judge doesn't come back until September at this point, and that may be too late.
Yeah.
I think, to your point, Tyler, I think Judge doesn't come back this year because I think we get to maybe early to mid-August and he's still not 100%, and they may do another set of images and say, we're shutting him down for the year.
They're not going to risk it. Yeah.
I don't know. The AL is still going to be wide open. They're going to they've got good pitching and good enough offense.
He's your cash cow and you're in it right now. I don't see them risking it personally.
Yeah. I'd be fine with the Rays because I think we're so used to, I think, seeing them be right there and then just disappear pretty much all the time. And it's every year. I'd say it's the same as the Brewers. The Brewers can trade their best players away, then somehow be the best team in baseball and then get knocked out in the first round.
The Rays have been my number 2 team for over 20 years now, so I follow them pretty closely. And they're always just like one step away. But, I mean, 2020 felt like the year with the shortened season. They had the miracle walk off with Brett Phillips and Randy Arozarena stumbling around
that was
home, and I was like, "This is it." I don't know that I buy into the Rays.
Had Trevor Bauer that year,
huh?
If only you had Trevor Bauer that year.
Is Brett Phillips a Savannah banana yet?
I think he actually might have.
I think he's on that path
because he feels like a perfect Savannah banana. If he's not.
But yeah, I mean, I would love to see the Rays, obviously.
Who's up next?
I got all yours. You can.
I can go. My World Series pick, I'm not wavering. I won't do it. I'm sticking with it. I picked the Cubs versus the Mariners this year. And at this point, I'm going to call it a toss-up. I'm going 50-50 Cubs or Mariners. Only because I don't remember who I picked in the prediction episode. So I'm going to go 50-50 right down the middle.
It's funny you say that, and Tyler, actually, that you said that the Phillies, could be a team that knocks off the Braves. I saw it yesterday. It was someone posted a bracket they made, and it had the Phillies knocking the Dodgers off and then the Phillies beating the Mariners in the World Series. And I just can't see I can't see it. We've seen weirder stuff in the playoffs. I mean, like 2022, when we started this podcast after the Phillies made the World Series, that was the most fun I'd had being a Phillies fan in probably since 2010, 2011. So we've all seen crazy shit just happen in the playoffs.
And don't forget,
I remember. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, and don't forget that we still have a decent chunk of season left.
Yeah.
A trade deadline. Lots of injuries are still going to happen.
100%.
Teams are not going to look the same as they are right now in 2 weeks, in 2 months. Everything's going to look different than it does now. Baseball is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah. It's a very long, exhausting sprint.
MLB turned injuries off. Didn't you hear that? They decided after the All-Star break to turn injuries off.
They could have done that in May for the Tigers. We'd actually be in this thing in the AL.
Could have done that last summer for the Braves.
Well, guys, I greatly appreciate you coming and hanging out I apologize. I took an extra half hour of your time, but I appreciate it.
I'm pretty sure we took an extra half hour of your time. So
bingo.
Well, I'm happy to have you. So I appreciate you guys coming on. And anytime, you're always welcome to come on the show. I think maybe we could do a show again before the Field of Dreams game. It's a Thursday night too. I kind of hate that that's a Thursday night. Like, of all games, why would you not have that during a weekend game or something like that?
Because you got a captive audience. People are busy on the weekend.
Yeah.
True.
Too much to compete with on weekends. You got to have your Thursday, nobody's doing anything, draw the eyes in.
True. And it's on Netflix.
I was going to make a joke about it being on Shudder or something like that.
And it's on Netflix.
Can't wait for Barry Bonds and everybody else, Anthony Rizzo and all those guys to be sitting out in the cornfield.
Yep. Bonds and Pujols,
because we hated that son of a bitch when he was alive. So we told him to stick it.
We told him to stick it.
I'm going to go watch.
Very nice.
I'm going to go watch Field of Dreams right now.
Yeah.
Give me 30 minutes. I'll be right over.
Sean, we really appreciate the opportunity to come on here and be a part of your show. We came across you in a happenstance situation in a Facebook group, and we can't express how excited we are that we've made this connection. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. It's been fun. I mean, I know, me and you talk every so often and kind of bullshit, and then when we do, we're texting like all day. It seems like so.
And most of it's not Mike Trout.
Yeah. You officially really, like, the more I talk to him, I'm like, fuck, I really do. I hate him now. I don't like him anymore. God. And then he comes and he builds a golf course that no one can afford to go to. I'm like, this son of a bitch.
Nobody makes you hate people more than Ben. So
it's quite the skill I have.
I thought that was FanDuel that made me hate players more than anything. So, but guys, I appreciate it. And like I said, you're always welcome anytime to come on. But I hope you guys have a great night, and thanks again.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Sean.
See you guys.
Bye.